So we got this first group here. We're going to let you watch your video. We'll let you watch it 2 times in a row. And then we are going to take a look at where our stride is going. Where does this leg that we lift up in the air, where does it go when it lands in the ground? We can see that our back foot, the foot that's up against the pitching rubber, is touching the white line, the big thick white line. But then our stride is going over towards the skinny white line, even though our target is this way. So we would all say that our strides are opening up, we're striding out and open. That's something we may have heard Coach Chris talk about when we're hitting, that maybe our stride is opening up versus our stride going back towards the pitcher. When we throw the baseball, we want our front leg to go and rotate forward for us. And when we rotate forward, our foot is going to be able to land a lot more flat on the ground instead of that inside part of your foot, instead of that inside part of your foot and that inside part of your foot. But it'll be the whole foot all at once. Another thing we'll be able to notice, if I bring us to the very beginning, is if we drew some lasers out of your toes and your knees, those lasers are all shining into that third base dugout. We want those same lasers in the knee and the feet to be shining towards our catcher when this front leg lands in the ground. So we'll pause it again when your guys' front legs are in the ground, right here. And we can see that this laser is pointing over here, and this laser is pointing over there, there, and there, and there, and there. If we keep you guys right there and we pull up a big league video from the front view, we can use Zach Wheeler here, where I know his head's cut off right now, but we'll soon see it. And we let this play all the way through for you. Just kind of watch where that stride goes and where those lasers from the foot and the knee go. We'll go backwards so we can watch that again. Okay, so we pause it right there, and we can see that laser from his knee and from his foot, those are going towards the target, even though they started off going into that third base dugout. So what we can watch and also see is if we drew that line that you guys are on, the camera kind of moves a little bit there, but then we watch, boom, he's landing on his stripe. We pull that first group back up, and we can see that you guys are landing not on your stripe. So we're going to want to work on and practice how to rotate our front leg forward versus just opening up our front leg. Because when we can rotate our front leg forward, we're going to throw a lot more strikes, and we're also going to throw a whole heck of a lot harder. And I'm sure all three of you guys want to throw harder and throw more strikes. So I'll let you watch your video one more time here and thinking about striding straight versus opening up, staying on the thick line versus going over that skinny line. Okay, my next group here. I want you guys to be able to watch your video 2 times here. And what we're going to want to watch for after this first time is, where does my stride go? When I lift up that leg and then I start to move my body towards my target, where does my leg go? When it lands in the ground, where is it going? Is it going straight to the target for me, or is it opening up? So we'll play it one more time here, and when your guys' foot gets in the ground, we will pause it. Bam. Okay, everyone's foot is in the ground. So we got our big stripe right here, right? But not everybody has a stripe, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a stripe, just like we got it here, kind of through the midsection of the foot, and then through the toes. And I'll do that here as well, midsection of the foot, and then the toes. So now we all got a stripe that's kind of telling us where straight is. And then we can see when that front foot hits the ground, that front foot hits the ground, that front foot hits the ground, we can kind of notice that our stride is going more on an open direction than a straight direction. We want to be striding straight to our target. We want to be rotating our front leg straight to our target, so that way our throw and our energy goes to our target. But because our strides, some more than others, but all of us are striding a little bit open or a lot open, and when our stride goes open like that, our shoulders will also want to start to open. And when our stride opens and our shoulders open, we lose out on power and we lose out on strikes. So we instead want to be thinking about, when we're in the very beginning, we have these lasers that are shining straight from my knees and my toes, out of my toes and out of my kneecaps. Lasers out of my kneecaps and out of my toes. And when I pitch, when that front foot hits the ground, I want to get those lasers to shine towards my catcher as much as I can. And what happens when we stride open like this, when we stride open, those lasers aren't as straight to our target as we would like them to be, which makes it more difficult for us to rotate our power to our target in an accurate way. So if we got a big league video for us to see what a straight stride would look like from the front view, we can use a guy like Devin Williams, who we can't see his head right now, but it will come into frame here once his leg and body start to go down that mound a little bit. So if we pause it right now, his lasers, just like ours, are shining towards that third base dugout. And then as he goes down that mound, look at those lasers. All right, we can see in this foot that laser starting to rotate towards us. We can see that kneecap laser getting turned towards us. And because that stride went straight and not open, because his stride went straight to the target and not open, his shoulders can still be straight and not open. So now he's got all of this power to rotate forward and throw hard and accurately. So we're going to want to work on learning how to rotate our front leg forward versus opening it up. All right, this group, we're going to let you watch your video 2 times in a row here. Something that this group is doing a good job of that some of our other groups need to work on is getting our stride and our energy to rotate forward to our target versus our energy and our stride opening up. So if we go through this one more time and we pause our video when our foot gets into the ground, we can see that our stride is going forward. Our stride has taken us forward. So that way our shoulders are able to stay closed and our chin is looking over our shoulder, with our glove finishing up into our body, up into our body, up into our body, which then helps us rotate forward, rotate forward, rotate forward with good energy that's going to help us throw hard and throw strikes. So this group here is doing a real good job with our mechanics. We also have good high leg lifts, even higher over here. We all have our glove going out in a good spot, whether it's a little low, it's a little medium, or it's a little high. All of them are good because they all get to a good strong spot right before that foot hits the ground, and they get into a even better strong spot when it comes time to throw, and it stays in that strong spot as we finish. Everything that you guys are doing here is really good. What we can do is we can get a big league video from the front to kind of compare you with, or just to kind of highlight some stuff. Oh wait, no, this doesn't show the whole thing. I remember. Let's get something else up there. Let's go back to Zach Wheeler. We've already used this for one of our groups. We can use it again. These are one of my better, high quality front videos. So we see, just like you guys, that good high leg lift. Just like you guys, that glove getting over here. Just like you guys, right before that foot gets in the ground, that glove's in a strong spot. As that foot's getting in the ground, that chin is looking over his shoulder with that glove tucked in. That glove staying strong as he's able to rotate forward, rotate forward, rotate forward, rotate forward, and then have his eyes stay on that target as he finishes his pitch, just like you guys. So you 3 guys, keep it up. We're looking good. Now it'll be me being able to give you very individual things to help you throw harder, throw more strikes, and to keep your arm healthier and healthier. All right, this group, you'll get to watch your video 2 times in a row here before we start to talk about something in our mechanics. So let you have the opportunity to see what we can be practicing and working on that's unique to you 3 guys and the reason that you 3 guys were put together. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to watch it one more time, and we're going to pause it when our front foot gets into the ground, because we're going to talk about our foot first, and then we're going to talk about our glove second. Okay. Our foot is in the ground here, and we kind of notice it's on a little bit of an angle, compared to the direction that my throw needs to go, which is straight. What we want to think about, guys, is getting this foot to be a little bit more straight to that target versus on an angle to that target. So if we can get that front foot rotated more forward before it touches the ground, we're going to be in a lot stronger position. The next thing we want to look at is our gloves. So let's watch this video again and just watch where your guys' gloves go from the start to the finish. How our gloves go out towards the target, and now they swoop down and outside of our body, and now they're down by our pockets. What we want to think about, guys, is that our glove and that glove arm, as it goes out towards that target, that's our steering wheel of our car. And what's going to happen if mom or dad's driving the car and all of a sudden you yank on that steering wheel? That car's going to go crazy. It's going to go one way or the other. Same thing with our glove. If we take our glove and we yank it, pull it, let it swoop out, let it fall down, we, in our delivery and our power, are going to yank, swoop, pull, and fall away from our throw. And our throw needs to go straight to our target. So we want to make sure our glove from this moment on goes straight into our body. But what we're going to see instead is that that glove is now down over here. So our energy is wanting to go this way, but we're trying to throw the ball this way. So we'll watch that one more time, watching your glove, and then we'll get a big league video up here to show you how that glove should be finishing. And we can also use that big league video to show us how our foot should be landing. Okay, so let's get 1 and 2 up here. We'll watch Devin Williams first. We're not going to really be able to see where his foot lands because the camera's not going to go low enough. But what we can do is watch his glove. So his glove goes out like your guys' does. It goes to the target like your guys' does. But notice, bam, where it's at now. See how that glove is tucking or curling into his armpit area? And now it's right by his chest. So as he throws, it's just right here, not down over here. Right into his chest, and it stays there as he throws. If we use Zach Wheeler, we'll be able to watch where his glove goes and how it also does that same type of curling, tucking motion into the armpit area, and then it stays right there by the chest as he throws. We can also watch and look at where his foot's landing, and we can see that his foot is landing a lot more straight to the target, like we were talking about, versus it being on an angle to the side. So we can now watch his leg and watch how he gets that foot rotated to the target when it lands, versus your guys' foot when it lands being to the side versus front. side, forward, side, forward. So this group here is going to want to work on getting that foot to face forward when you land and controlling and finishing your glove. All right, lefty, as you can see, you're the odd man out here. We had 13 guys, and 3, 3, 3, and 3 gets me to 12. So I got you up there with me since we're both left-handed. That way you can have someone else to watch next to you like those other guys did. I got a slow-mo paired up with you, and then I got normal speed on the other side. So we'll let you watch that again. And then after this time, we'll talk about something in your delivery that we can work on. All right. But before we talk about what you can work on, I want to let you know some of the things that you're doing good. We got this nice high leg lift. I like that. Sorry, that's my alarm. We also have this good glove path going to our target. So that way, when it comes time for that foot to get in the ground, you start to finish it well. But if you notice, when you go to finish your glove, how your glove goes palm up, where if a ball fell from the sky, you could catch it. When I go to finish my glove, I go palm in. So it was almost as if someone was throwing a ball from the outfield, my glove would catch it. When our glove goes like this and curls into our body, that helps it stay even better in a closed position and in a stronger position. However, at the end of the day, your glove's finishing, so it's good. You're doing everything exactly the way we want to. It just looks a little different than mine. But because you get to a good finished position, you're good. So that's another thing you do well. Something else you do good is you keep your head on that target that whole time as you throw, and you let your body finish after your pitch while the head stays on the target. So a lot of good things you do here, young lefty. The one thing I do want you to note and kind of notice here, oh, come on, is when you get this foot in the ground, we're going to pause it. And we're going to notice the angle that your foot is in. Bam. All right. And if we kind of go back a little bit, we can see how the inside part of your foot hits and then the rest rolls to the ground. Okay. So we can say right now your foot is angling that way and your knee is angling that way. My foot is to the target and my knee is angling this way. Things are a lot more going inside of this versus what you got going outside of that. So what's going to happen, we're going to watch as your shoulders now try to throw. We're going to watch your knee get over here in a lot more straight position, right? Bam. We still look the same now, but now we're not as much. You can see that there's almost a little bit of gap that we can see between my legs there because of how much this leg is rotated. We can't see that gap because that knee's in the way, but bam, there's that gap. So if we can think about getting this foot to rotate, that's going to help this knee to get rotated more. Your stride's going in a good straight direction. We just need to get from your hip to your foot. We want to get that knee a little bit more in line with it. All right, the same way when my foot gets into the ground, when my foot gets into the ground, we got my hip, my foot and my knee in a lot more straighter alignment. Because everything else you're doing here, man, is very nice. So we can just learn how to get this front leg to rotate more before it hits the ground versus rotating a lot after it hits the ground. We're going to throw so much harder. So much harder. Okay, so now how are we going to practice this, right? A lot of us need to be working on our stride and the direction it's going and how we're rotating it. So that's what these YouTube videos on my page are for. We come down here to the how to get better. 1, if we want to get a stronger arm, this playlist right here. Click view full playlist, and now you got all these different ways that we can be getting stronger at home with the arm. Okay, but we go over here to the mechanical drills playlist, and we scroll down until we find the drill that says front leg rotation. Right there. We do this drill right here, guys. We follow along with me at home, whether you have a band or not. If you have a band, great, but you don't need a band to do this exercise over here, to do this drill. If we start practicing this drill 5 minutes a day after dinner, we're going to get a lot better a lot quicker. So let's practice these drills right here, the front leg rotation drills. There's other drills that we can do on here, but the front leg rotation drills, on my screen it says drill 17. I think that might be the same for everyone. Front leg rotation drills.